Wuthering Waves is set to release on May 22nd, and upon its release we'll be getting a free 5-star. But what 5-star should you pick? I'm sure you want to avoid making the wrong decision and living with the regret forever. Do remember, this is all information based on closed beta test 2 and is subject to change upon release. What's going to matter most is your playstyle. Wuthering Waves offers a gameplay experience where personal skill and adaptability will play a large role in determining a character's effectiveness. Mechanics like parrying, perfect dodging, and its boss complexity show that this game will have a lot more skill expression than its competitors. You can optimize and play meta, but I'm here today to explain which character will fit your playstyle. If you truly care about meta, there are plenty of tier lists and videos out there, and I'll put some in the description that I personally think are really good. Jianxin is an aero gauntlet user. This character will be an amazing pick for a reactive playstyle. Her parry-focused kit will make her a perfect fit in challenging fights where timing and precision is key. She collects chi through her chi counter and chi parry, and when full, releases enhanced heavy that heals, shields, and gives interrupt resistance. Although do be aware that the common player sentiment has been that she has an underwhelming amount of damage as of CBT2. That could change though on release. She's all about martial arts, and it really shows in both her visual design and gameplay. She's all about precision, agility, and her aero element really drives the idea of martial discipline home. Also, she has a beautiful pair of eyes, a big plus in my book. LingYang is a glacial gauntlets user, whose high damage combos are incredibly useful and will make him a brilliant DPS. He'd pair super well if you already have a support you love using or someone who would provide setup. His entire design is focused on dragon dancing, taken straight from Chinese culture, something I personally don't care much about, but I can see why you might like it. I'm not personally a fan of his playstyle or his art style, and will most likely be picking another resonator. Encore is a fusion rectifier user, a versatile DPS that also works partly as an offensive support. Her small design with her two little bears is cute, and I can see why you might like her, but it's personally not my style of character. I will probably say this role for someone whose kit is more focused onto the offensive support role, rather than someone who's half support, half DPS. But if you're choosing her for the cute little sheep AI, I won't blame you. Calcharo is an Electro Broadblade user. Calcharo has an aggressive and upfront playstyle, with his ult being a self buff. He has nearly no downtime with his constant attacks and will be the centre of any team you put him in. A great unit if you're looking for a main DPS. If you pick anyone else, then you're objectively wrong, but that's okay. Not everyone has to be right. Verina is a Spectral Rectifier user. Verina will be an incredible defensive support. Her heals and buffs will enhance your team's survivability. A great pick for those who want some comfortability and reliable survivability. But for those who are confident in straight up not taking damage, you may want to consider someone who has a more offensive focused kit. That's me, by the way. I won't be taking damage because I'm not shit. Remember, this is all information from closed beta test 2 and therefore is heavily subject to change. Someone that has an underwhelming amount of damage like Jianxin can easily get buffed, and someone like Verina, who's considered an incredible support and one of the top tier meta picks, may end up being nerfed before release. Do your research before making a final decision in order to not be disappointed that something changed that you were not aware of. If you do care about meta, this part is for you. As per the state of CBT2, Verina is a clear best meta character due to her ridiculous heals, closely followed by Calcharo for a main DPS. Encore will be a great next best if you want some map control or setup in fights. And the last two I would only recommend if you really like their design and playstyle. Here is a tip. As is typical for a game's release window and typically to keep player attention, we will be gifted with plenty of currency and pulls at the start of the game, simply through the virtue of being a pre-register, release reward, and the fact that it is common to get a lot of currency at the beginning portion of the game. Therefore, it will be most optimal to wait until you get a 5-star from pulling on the banners to avoid claiming a free 5-star and then ending up just getting another copy of them. You might just end up getting the 5-star you want from the standard banners without even having to use your free selection. From a recent leak, we believe there'll be a free 5-star weapon upon hitting Union level 45. If you have a character in mind, then make sure you know what weapon they use. Go back in the video if you want to refresh yourself on what weapon they use, as it is the first thing I mentioned for each character. What 5-star will you pick and why? Did I change your mind? Tell me in the comments. Like if you like the video, subscribe for more content like this. Bye bye.